we just settle into our usual meditation posture before we start, so we can focus our mind. And just try and bring our mind to the same place as our body. So wandering all over the place. Just so check your legs and your hips are slightly raised. Try not to be leaning up against a cushion or a chair if you possibly can. But if you're somehow injured or like Anthony, just out of hospital, just make yourself comfortable. Shoulders over the hips, and try and lengthen the spine. And so we can just imagine we have this string of pearls made of light. Just very, very, very gradually lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. You know, as we walk around during the day, it's sort of like we're pounding one foot in front of the other. We sort of compress the discs. So it's very good to stretch them out. And this is one way, one very gentle way to give some space. Get some air in there, not literally. So head slightly tipped forward, eyes down, tip of the tongue, roof of the mouth, and just relax the jaw. And let's just go to the crown of the head and just very, very gently relax the scalp. And the forehead, the eyes, the cheeks and the nose. Check the jaw again. Relax your ears, your mouth. Then go to the back of the head and relax your scalp. And the back of the neck and the shoulders. Relax the chest and the belly. The arms, the hands and the fingers. And the legs and the feet and the toes. And the hands in the meditation mudra, just in a kind of a fairly relaxed way with the thumbs touching. Right hand nestled in the left. And bring the mind to the breath. Just notice the cool air blowing in as you're breathing in, flowing in through the nostrils, and then slightly warmer air as you're blowing out. So you might notice a sensation there if you're breathing in and out. And we just make just a very brief motivation. We're doing this Vajrasattva practice here this evening together, so we can purify our past mistakes, try and create some awareness around our delusions and the habits that we have that are causing us to create negative seeds that will cause suffering in the future. So we're trying to eradicate these so we can be of benefit to others, so we can move towards enlightenment, so we can be of benefit to others. So we just settle ourselves, maybe reflect on the day. Think of the people that we've been in contact with today, whether it's in person or over the phone or over the Zoom. And how have our interactions been? So just to remind ourselves that there is no negativity that cannot be purified. So we come again to the first of the 4 opponent powers in this Vajrasattva practice, which is the power of regret. So just regret from the depths of our heart anything we have done to harm any living being today, yesterday, last week, this year, this life. Times where we can't remember, if, say, we have an understanding of past lives. So maybe you can think of specific actions of both body and speech. Something you may have said, something you did, and then maybe generally. Just regret anything you've done to harm. And remember, the reason we do this is based on this logic of karma. So everything we experienced is based on karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future. So we don't really want this. We've already got enough problems. We don't want more suffering. So therefore, what we're doing tonight, we're trying to remove these karmic seeds that we've created through our delusions. Somehow we've allowed our body and speech to become servants of our delusions, and we've acted out. So we don't want this suffering in the future. So we regret from the depths of our heart having harmed others, our body and our speech, any broken vows, our prada moksha, bodhisattva or tantric vows if we have them. And we regret our anger and our attachment, the delusions of why we cause harm to others. And just think, I'm sick of this suffering. So then we think, okay, so who can I turn to? What can I do about it? So here we think, we come to the second of the four opponent powers, which is refuge. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor. And he has these methods that we can use to purify ourselves. And so we're not asking for forgiveness here. This is a practice that we are doing. We are healing ourselves with this practice. So we're just relying upon Buddha Vajrasattva's methods. So visualize Guru Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. It's around about 1 or 2 inches above the crown of your head, facing the same direction that we're facing. So you can imagine if you have a teacher, a guru, a lama, a mentor, trusted mentor, you can imagine this is the mind of your mentor, your guru, your lama is manifesting in this aspect of Vajrasattva for your benefit. So Vajrasattva is made of blissful, radiant, white light. So the whole image is translucent, it's non-material, just floating up there, it's brilliant light. So if you're actually able to see Vajrasattva in person, it would be almost so bright you wouldn't be able to look. Incredibly brilliant, powerful, compassionate. So he's sitting cross-legged on a lotus. He's got this beautiful, radiant, compassionate face, and he's looking at you and all other sentient beings simultaneously, completely in a non-judgmental way, full of love. And he has this very sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. So he's dressed, you can see, in this royal Indian style with kind of like silks and scarves, and everything's kind of billowing, floating. His arms are crossed at his heart, left underneath the right. Left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, symbolizing enlightenment, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So these are the very beings we have harmed and who have harmed us by developing compassion for them. So first of all, think of anybody you may have harmed Could be a little harm, a big harm. And then think of someone who's harmed you and try and have compassion for them. Because the harm that they have caused you, your karma's finished, their karma has just started. So this way we try and generate compassion. So we think, I must purify for the sake of other sentient beings. So the power of the remedy, this is where we do the actual practice. And this is where we're doing the healing part of this, where we do the purification. So this is the medicine. So the first one is the purification of the negativities we've done with our body. So we visualize the Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sending powerful white nectar from his heart, arcing around and entering your crown. And it pours into your entire body, filling you completely with this blissful, radiant nectar. So it's pouring into you, coming, and it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of this kind of dirty, inky liquid. And it pours out of you and it disappears into space, not one atom left. So we just visualize this as we recite the mantra. And just also remember, once the inky liquid has come out, it doesn't pollute the environment at all around you. It just disappears. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mebe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mebe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mebe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Then be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified. And think now there's nothing that you could do to anybody but be of benefit to them. And next is the purification of the speech. So Guru Vajrasattva very happily sending powerful nectar from his heart chakra, arcing around and entering your crown, filling your entire body. So this time, forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and it overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So as Lama Yeshe says, just as when you turn on a tap in the sink and you fill up a glass, so a dirty glass, and all the kind of junk flows to the top and floats out. So this is in this way, all the negativities of the speech flow out of the top. So you imagine all the gossip and harsh speech and useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their back. It's all purified by this powerful nectar, just pushing all the negativities out of the top of the body. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mebe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawa Siddhi Mebe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutsa Vajra Bawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta me bawa sava siddhi me yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Now feel just really happy that our speech is completely purified. So just imagine that all we're able to do right now with our speech is be a benefit to others. Just think every time anyone hears your voice, they benefit from it, the sound of your voice. So next is the purification of the mind. So again, Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sending these powerful beams of light this time. From his heart chakra, this arcs around, entering your crown and filling you with this light. So you can just imagine the moment this light hits your heart, it immediately dispels all the delusions, so all the negativities of the mind, attachment and anger, grasping, jealousy, ill will, depression, anxiety, all these things completely, instantly dispelled. So it's sort of the same way as Lama Yeshe says again. When you walk into a room and you turn a switch on a light, the darkness is instantly dispelled. So the same way as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokayo Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokayo Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mebe Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokayo Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasini Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Now think there is no space in your mind, in your heart now for anything but love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So all these negativities of the mind, the cause of the why we do harm to others with our body and speech, completely purified. So next, this is the fourth one, the purification of these subtle imprints of negativity that sort of get left behind of our body, our speech and our mind. So again, we can imagine that Guru Vajrasattva is sending light and nectar. So if you're able to, if it's easy for you to visualize the light coming down and the light going up and the light coming and hitting, the nectar going down, the nectar going up, and the light coming and hitting the heart. If you can imagine that all at once, we did the previous 3 visualizations of the body, the speech, and the mind. Go ahead. Otherwise, just light and nectar coming is fine. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta me bawa sawa sini me piyatsa sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Now feel that you are completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. And even the subtlest obscurations to omissions have been purified, completely removed. So the fourth of the four opponent powers is the power of resolve. It's really one of the most important steps. Is well, it's very crucial. The determination not to harm again with our body and speech and our mind. And without this, we're just going to keep following the same old patterns. So the determination, this is the aspiration not to harm again, is like a beacon that guides us. Lama Zopa Rinpoche says, everything exists on the tip of the wish. So we try and think of something that we would like to work on. So if you have a tendency to complain to people all the time about your health, or maybe you don't tell the truth all the time, or whatever it is, maybe you eat too much or don't eat enough, or exercise too much or don't exercise, or obsess too much about this or that or whatever, or harsh speech, all the things that we do. It doesn't matter how small, some negativity we would like to work on. Just think, I'm not going to, we don't lie to ourselves and say, I'm never going to do this again. We just work on something. Just think about what that something might be and give ourselves a reasonable timeline. And the other thing is, which I like so much about what Venerable Robina said the other day, was don't let your body and speech become the servants of your delusions. So we can do that. We can keep an eye on ourselves. We can control our body and speech. It's the first step. So next, to conclude, just to imagine that Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us. So wanting to merge with our mind, he melts into light, to this white light, blissful, radiant white light, and absorbs into us through the crown of our head, and think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, my body, speech and mind are all the same. Lama Yeshe calls this union oneness. So next, as Lama Zopa Rinpoche recommends, we meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So we just place our mind in emptiness for a moment, at whatever level we understand it. So we can just think that all phenomena are empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can just think also the way things appear to us may not necessarily be the way things actually are. Okay, so let's dedicate. And first of all, we'll dedicate with the four immeasurables. So immeasurable equanimity. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were to abide in equanimity, free from the closeness of attachment and the distance of hatred. May they abide in equanimity. I myself will cause them to abide in equanimity. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. Immeasurable loving kindness. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were to achieve Buddhahood. May they achieve Buddhahood. I myself will cause them to achieve Buddhahood. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. And immeasurable compassion, how wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they be free from suffering and its causes. I myself will cause them to be free from suffering and its causes. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. And immeasurable joyfulness, how wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were never separated from the happiness of higher rebirth and liberation. May they never be separated from these. I myself will cause them never to be separated from these. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. And as a result of the 3 times merits of myself and others, may bodhicitta, from which the happiness of all sentient beings comes, be generated in the minds of self and other sentient beings without delay for even 1 second. And that which has been generated, may it increase. So let's just go to His Holiness's prayer. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serves as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjanath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplish magnificent prayers honoring the 3 jewels, savor of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And then for Lama Ursum, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. Okay. Venerable Pamo, how nice to see you.
Hello, hello. Yeah, I forgot about the time.
So never mind. It's lovely that you came anyway.
You need time for the middle of the dedications.
Oh, well done. Welcome. Lovely to see you, Pamola. Okay. All right, everybody. Good night. Stay safe. And I hope to see you soon, Thursday morning.